There's one question guaranteed to raise a lot of laughter at the Girrawaa. The question, what was your first painting like? Every Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander man who participates in the Girrawaa art program has a story to tell about that first painting and the incredible differences between it and the second one. Justin's one of the men who agreed to speak with our mob about what he's learned and how he's grown because of the program. Justin says his first painting was full of the monkeys on his back, a clear illustration of the issues that cycle the men into jail in the first place.
You see those when they come in, you know, like some people don't even know how to paint, you know, they don't even know if they can paint, you know, until they sit down and actually want to paint or try painting, you know. And you know, first off, you know, they rush it and, you know, they want it to be the best painting, but, you know, they're just rushing it. There's nothing with it. It's just something in their head that they think they're going to do. You know, and after a time, you know, being in here when they're relaxed and, you know, the worries have gone, you know, the outside society or whatever is, you know, not there no more, well, the real them come out, you know.
Ron had a good old chuckle when our mob asked him about his first efforts.
Yeah, I remember my first painting. It wasn't as good, but I could tell that I come a long way from then. But you know, like over as many as you do, you'll start to think about, you get a better connection. You know, like with your traditional background, your tribal people, and you know, sometimes when you do your first paint and it's not, you're not putting a lot into it. You know what I mean? Or you're not as good enough. But as the paintings go by, you'll start to see how you progressed down the track. You know, I kept my first painting. I got it at home, but you can see I've come a long way since then. Yeah.
Justin says the adjustment to life in jail is challenging, but support at the Girrawaa helps focus the men past the difficulties of that first painting.
To them, we think it's going to be the best one, but it's a scattered one, lost one. You know, it's not really them. You know.
It's the them who came here.
Yeah, it's them who come in here. You know.
And the them who leaves?
Well, it's a painting. It becomes a painting. You know. The structure in it is, you know, beautiful. You know, everything in the painting it's a painting. You know, it actually looks like a painting. You know, it's lovely to look at, and the meaning of it is in it too. You know, you can feel it and see that this painting has, you know, a lot of effort, a lot of things put into it to become a good painting.
That effort extends to a number of people who work with the men and help them build future careers. John Mackey teaches literacy, numeracy and a range of practical skills on planning for life when released.
What they'd like to do, and then some things that they'd like to do outside, what their skills are, what their interests are, and then sort of seeing how they might actually make, well in this case, whether it's an employment opportunity or a small or micro business sort of opportunity for themselves, and how you actually make it happen on the ground. Sometimes people have to go back home in order to see exactly how the dynamics and the intimacies of how it works actually operate.
A long-term partner is the Bathurst Local Aboriginal Land Council, which has supported the Girrawaa and every participant since the program began. CEO Tony Lee Scott has overseen Bathurst LALC's involvement for the past 16 years.
What I've seen is, you know, them improving their skills, their self-esteem, you know, trying to better themselves so they don't come back to the system again. Rehabilitation to, you know, stay out of here. That's what it comes down to. You know, we're seeing a turnover of regular people coming in and out, but there is some there that are genuine and want to stay out because, you know, they feel good about themselves.
Girrawaa's senior overseer Brian Reary has run the program since the year 2000 and has helped many Aboriginal men connect with their cultures.
They come from varying backgrounds. Not all have had the opportunity to have a go at their culture, at their art, but this here gives them a chance to explore their own energy, I guess. You know, so they get to explore themselves. You know, find their strength and their weaknesses, and I guess with the other guys, they tend to feed off each other and learn from each other, which is a good thing.
Running the program for such a long time, Brian's become a pretty good judge of character and has a well-honed understanding of what jobs suit different men. Take the Girrawaa participant Andrew, for example. He's the program's current frame maker and says he never considered making picture frames before Brian convinced him to try it.
I've got a good teacher in Brian, I'd say, yeah, and a bit of know-how myself, so yeah, a bit of the technical side, so that's all right.
But there was a change?
Yeah, a big change.
Yeah, when?
I think it's only happened in the last week, yeah, so I think I've become more confident and in my ability to put things together and cut them, and yeah.
And Andrew's world doesn't only extend to framing pictures at the Girrawaa. He says Brian Reary and John Mackey are helping him with his plan to set up a small business when he's released.
They're going to help me look at buying a lot of the stuff and yeah, see about how I'd go about getting loans and that for it. So yeah, I've never ever thought about doing the framing business, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going into it.
Like Tony Lee Scott and Brian Reary, John Mackey's also seen many Aboriginal men arrive and leave over the years. He says the ones who ultimately become successful understand that despite outside support, the biggest change comes from within.
If you expect that they're going to be successful without any support, and obviously the longer you've been in here, the less likely you're going to be successful unless you've had a lot of intervention. But then as blackfellas, you know that the intervention has to be on a personal level. So as blackfellas, that's a complaint that a lot of people have about us blackfellas. We're too close to people when we're dealing with them. But as a blackfella, you have to have a relationship with people in order to be able to influence them.
But nothing stands still. With major changes ahead at Bathurst Correctional Centre, there'll be changes at the Girrawaa as well.
The designs of the new correctional centre will be, the Girrawaa will be the centrepiece of a 250-man jail, 250-bed jail. So this will be I guess the jewel in the crown.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, this same building?
This same building will actually have a perimeter fence built right around the Girrawaa, and it'll provide between 20 and 25 jobs for Indigenous inmates within the maximum security jail.
But for now, the Girrawaa goanna curls on the hill above the jail, and inside, Aboriginal men throw off the monkeys on their backs, connect with their culture, and learn how to live as connected cultural men when they're released. Participant Ron is now many paintings away from his first one, and he was happy to talk about the layers of his latest work, stunning totems representing some of the different nation groups at the Girrawaa.
Well, the snake is like it's embedded in the sand, but really what it is, it's the energy. It's an energy that comes from each, like each totem, So I'm goanna. Wakamara people understand goanna, but then we got, people that's other tribes, so to speak. They're coming together, feasting, and these are their water rolls, they're all sharing the same water rolls. So that's what it actually stands for. All of us just coming together, just like here. A lot of people like living in shadow in their inner self, but coming up here, doing art and stuff like that takes your mind away from things that hurts, or just it gives you a chance to explore your traditional talents.